It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go from Soldier Field.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
You got nothing to that. You got nothing.
Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he's got room. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tired, he's tired.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
On third down, a run with Cohen. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. Points were put on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation, pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Cousins going deep, and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 63 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Cousins. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team himself.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Barely got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
27 yards there, a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down. Here's the run with Montgomery. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down now. It's Cohen. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 14-yard line.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Run, 180. Run. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
SOS.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Let's go,
On second down, Cook.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Strip that ball.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. This is Cohen. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's coming. And let's get them holes. Red, son. Ford is the mic.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And this will be caught at the 30. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 53 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their
looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected. But a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he's going to be out up around the 40.